I am a publisher, writer, editor, daughter, sister, auntie, dog mom, and many other things, including currently a cancer patient. But I am not a doctor or medical professional of any sort. What you are about to watch is an episode of my journey through cancer. I'm sharing my adventure with you in hopes that you'll find something here that's comforting and maybe even inspiring. This video is not intended to provide any sort of diagnosis or treatment plan. Please go talk with your doctor for professional medical advice.
I got drunk last night. I mean, really, really drunk. So the room was spinning. A throwback to one particular night in college I had hoped never to have to repeat. But I have a reason. Or an excuse. Okay, let's go back and pick up where I left off in the last video, which was waiting for the results of my esophageal biopsy. Having cancer necessarily means that you need to steel yourself to be even more patient than you already are, if you are already patient, and I am not. Even my grandmother, Albie, who adored me and who I absolutely venerated, told me as a kid that I needed to pray for patience. But as a cancer patient, you have to become comfortable with waiting in doctor's offices for diagnoses, for test results. Well, my biopsy results came in blessedly quickly, less than a week after the biopsy, and they were amazing. None of the 6 lymph nodes that had been in question, were cancerous. I knew I would have to wait until September, until my next appointments with my oncologists, to find out what this actually meant for me. But because my sigmoidoscopy had come back clean, and now because the lymph nodes were clear too, did that mean they were calling me cancer-free? And I actually was not patient enough to wait until September to get an answer to this question. So I called one of my oncologists and asked him. And what he said was we were now entering a period of cautious optimism. I will even wait as patiently as I possibly can for my next exams and to find out in September if I can get this port out. My stepfather and I popped a bottle of Prosecco to celebrate my new status of cautious optimism. But even this new news was not without drama. I got 3 phone messages from the medical center that has been the hub for all of my treatments over the last year and a half. The gastroenterology department, where I had my latest biopsy performed, wanted to talk to me about something going on in my chest cavity. I did not get these messages until after 5 p.m. on a Friday, and needless to say, my whole weekend was sleepless waiting to talk to somebody about my chest cavity. But when I called first thing Monday morning, no one at the doctor's offices, any of them, would admit to calling me. Fortunately, the next day, a Tuesday, was another port flush day. Port flush day once again. But a sweet afterwards. Okay, so I'm sitting here with the port flush in my chest. And we don't know if I need labs or not, so I have to sit here with this thing in my chest. God, I can't wait to get this port removed. I can't wait till I don't need it anymore. That would be great. After my port was duly flushed, I met with one of the nurses in the office to get to the bottom of the reason for these phone calls. And the nurse was great, as have all my medical professionals been during this whole ordeal. They've all been really, really great. But there was nothing in my chart that indicated that anyone had any additional concerns about my chest cavity. And the bottom line was that the call must have been a mistake, which is great. But I didn't know there was really nothing to be immediately concerned or worried or panicked about. I didn't know that for nearly 4 days. I said to the nurse who was helping me to figure out this mystery that, ever since I was first diagnosed with cancer, I have been working extra hard to keep my head above water in terms of looking for positive outcomes. 4 days of wondering if there's more bad news that's directly ahead. That's, I've spent the last year and a half waiting for the other shoe to drop, and I spent 4 days really, really close to the edge. To mix a metaphor, or 2 or 3. The nurse, very bluntly, and to my mind, very kindly, said to me, that feeling, it doesn't go away. And I thought, oh, good. Anxiety is the new normal. On the other hand, cancer is just another reminder that life is, in many ways, just a process of dealing with the unknown. I mean, no matter what you plan, life keeps on happening, and it will take you out if you let it. It's going to take you out in any case eventually, but in the meantime, you have to be as graceful as you can when, say, a dear friend accidentally dumps a whole cup of coffee on your computer, and you spend your birthday at Best Buy getting a new computer and trying to retrieve data from the cloud. Or when you walk into your fresh, newly painted, not yet completely decorated office space one morning, and you feel as if you're in a fun house because the flooring is giving way under your feet, and you realize the room is flooded because the gutters haven't been properly cleaned out. Or your mother dies. Those of you who have been watching these videos will know that my mother has been in a long-term care facility for many months, 13 months all told. And many of you have told me that you love our duets when my mother and I sang her favorite show tunes together. The last time we sang together was the day before she died, last week. The day she died, I sat with her for several hours, tickling her arms, which is one of her favorite things, to have her arms tickled, and singing her whole repertoire of show tunes to her because she wasn't able to sing with me at that point. Her visitation when family and friends came by the funeral home to pay their respects was last night. And when it was over, I went out with my stepfather and a couple of friends, and I got drunk. Room spinning, stumble to bed, don't take your makeup off, pass out drunk. And I did all that on just 3 glasses of a really nice Cabernet Sauvignon. We didn't bury her yesterday. That's because she is going to rest in the same plot of ground as her parents, and her father's grave had caved in, we discovered when we went up to look at the plot. The foundation underneath his grave gave way, and my grandparents' gravestones are cattywampus leaning together, and it looks as if someone has tried to dig up their graves and didn't fill the hole back in properly. So it's going to take 6 weeks for new granite to arrive to repair my grandfather's grave, and then approximately 2 more weeks for the actual repair work to be done. So we're having to wait for what I hope will be a really jubilant celebration of my mom's life for when we can actually bury her. And for now, Mom is on the shelf, home with us for a little while longer. It is tempting to think that one's own actions could have created a different outcome. I mean, some of the thinking, the thoughts that have been going through my head are utterly ridiculous. Mom had designed a Granny Square coverlet to match what we always refer to as her bumblebee bathroom in the master suite at home. And she had asked me to make this blanket. With cancer, it took me much longer than expected to make the coverlet. And a few months ago, I went to visit her and told her I was sorry it was taking me so long to finish. And she said not to worry, she would wait. So 2 days after I finished it and took it to her, she died. And I can't help wishing I would have taken another 2 years to finish the damned thing, so she'd still have to be around waiting for it. And then moving from the ridiculous to the karmic, it preys on me that these things, these weird things, these annoying things, these tragic things keep happening because I've had such a bad attitude, especially in the last few months. The coffee on the computer, the grave crashing in. Is this the universe telling me to stop sleeping my life away and to stop avoiding thinking because all I can think about is my own anxiety, and to, for Christ's sake, just think about something else? But, you know, I also know that you can't keep someone from dying by crocheting the world's most gigantic coverlet. So today, as hungover as I have been since I was 19 years old, I got up, I got dressed, and I'm here. Mom's not here, but I am. And I have things to do.
If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Also, don't forget to call your senators and your congresspeople to demand universal health care, and most importantly, don't forget to vote.